So notes here, the mission is in no way related to real events, blah, 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 yeah. Don't be assholes, guys. Oh, God, lore. 2024, after the defeat of NATO in Eastern Europe and the collapse of all European Union, many European countries resumed trade and economic ties, established a form of mutually beneficial partnerships, relations with the Russian Federation. Russia has become a true power and self-sufficient state. However, the UK, led by a new prime minister, continued to pursue an insane sanction policy against Russian Federation, which only aggravated internal state of affairs within the kingdom. Meanwhile, the U.S. presidential election for a second term, Joe Biden from the Democratic Party wins, which causes massive discontent and discord within the country. Oh my God. Which would develop into a full-fledged civil war between Democrats and Republicans between the states. Many states take neutrality, chanting about their independence. The United States is now informally referred to as the disconnected states of America. An era to watch me is over. The situation in Europe, you know, as an American, that hits a little too close to home, admittedly. The situation in Europe is heating up due to a confrontation of new political alliances of France, Germany, and Italy, FGI, which also includes countries such as Austria, Belgium, and the Netherlands, and Poland's alliance with the Baltics. The NATO military political bloc in Europe ceased to function because of all of its American reserves were sent to the United States to stabilize the situation inside that country. Many countries included in the bloc announced their withdrawal from the alliance and withdrew from their units from NATO bases. In fact, the European part of the NATO bloc fell apart, leaving only its influence in Poland and the Baltic states. The Scottish government again thought about holding a referendum on independence from the United Kingdom, and came to the conclusion. Hey.
What we need to do? We will start soon, like 2 minutes. You need to load in the game, then go back to the lobby and load the 2 another slots what we have in the game. You will spawn bots, but do not disappear at the end of freeze time. Did you understand?
So which slot do I take?
You will take all 3, except the 4th mine. So you just load your current slot, then back to lobby, switch slot to the other second and 3rd slot.
And I do this as soon as the mission starts.
No, just on the first time. You will load in the game.
Right.
Back to the lobby.
Okay.
Take another slot back to the game, the lobby.
And then that's all going on during safe start, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
that's what I meant. All right. Yeah, gotcha.
You have 3 slots.
Yep, in case something
happens.
happens.
Box with the grenades close to you.
Thank you.
Close to the bots. So you can just do it.
Kill myself to get those slots in case something happens again. I got you.
Again.
I got you.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Where was I in this wonderful page of lore? All right. Came to the conclusion that there is everything necessary for this. London does not like the outcome of events, and the Prime Minister said that attempts to declare independence would be stopped by any means, including by military means, but that did not frighten the Scottish leadership to doing so. The referendum passed without incident, with a majority voted in favor of secession from the United Kingdom. Many countries, including the Russian Federation, recognized the independence of Scotland. In turn, the Russian Federation also signed an agreement on friendship, cooperation, and mutual assistance, after which London imposed sanctions, an embargo, and an economic blockade. The Scottish government has no choice but to establish a mutually beneficial relations with a number of other countries. The critical moment was the announcement of Scotland on the purchase of Russian raw materials, energy resources, and weapons, the intention to become a candidate for entry into the BRICS and conclude a military alliance with Russia. For the British, this was the last line. English introduces its troops into the territory of independent Scotland, winning up over the defensive forces of Scotland. The troops of the British are moving inland after the refusal to conduct peaceful negotiations on a part of Britain. Scotland asks for military assistance from other countries that have recognized its independence. Russian Federation brings troops into the area of hostilities and launches a special military operation to protect the people of the sovereignty of Scotland. IRL events aside, that's a pretty cool lore background for it, and it would completely make sense based off of what's been going on in the real world. Introduction. Armed Forces of the Russian military. Armed Forces of the Russian Federation are conducting a military operation to destroy SAM surface air missile sites and capture British forward operating base, which is right there. So the SAM sites are marked here. Basically, Op4 have to destroy the 3 SAM sites, and then they can take the military base. I'll be curious where they spawn. Now, to explain what the admin just told me. Here's what I have to do. I'm dead. Trust me, you did it, okay? Alright? You did your job. Alright, so right off the bat. What do we got here? So we have an MRZR on Op4, actually, moving up on this flank here. We have one guy over here. It looks like he didn't get in his MRZR. We have a recon vehicle in the form of one of the 2 armed Gazes already heading up. We also have another Gaz pushing up on this angle as well. This appears to be the other armed Gaz. That might have been the same one I just looked at. So let me check this one as well. Yep, alright, so both armed Gazes are already pushing out forward. Otherwise, you don't have any other Op4 elements here. Looking at the remainder of the forces here. So the MRZRs were actually just like the Blue 4 transport fix there. But we have another Gaz going through. You got the BTR-80 Alphas. There are 7 of them coming through on this convoy. And then you have another Gaz back there. That key is a little sticky. There's the 2S1 artillery tank, and I'd imagine these are the Urals back here running supply. Okay. Here's the Yabin. So Op4's air support. It is very high up there. Ooh. We'll get up to it eventually. There you go. Yeah, so high that the render distance isn't covering that accordingly. Wow. So that can do some decent reconnaissance. Let's go ahead and look over at... Oh, man. What's the... It's shift. That's the best we can do here. There we go. Woo! All right. So we've got Blue 4 guys already in the field here. They're driving some quad bikes. All right, so we got some sniper teams out and about. More ATV forces over here. You got some Blue 4 already dismounting around the fob. Looking at the fob real quick. It is... Where is the fob? Fob is behind me, actually. It's this position right here. So they custom built this. Looks nice. It's got some artillery shelters as well, which is this little area right here. That is very nice indeed. Some other side artillery shelters, which are here. And they've got just a bunch of stuff loaded around. Cool, 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 cool. And then you got the main vehicle convoys coming in for the reinforcing vehicles here. That is their repair vehicle. Multiple Bulldogs. So it is quite interesting. They're pairing Bulldogs against BTR-80 Alphas, autocannons against 50 cals, but there's the Reaper drone. And it looks like it's got 2 groups of 2 AGMs and then 2 single AGMs. Which could mean it's got 2 AA missiles. No. It's got 2 GBUs and 4 Hellfires. Holy shit. That's awesome. I gotta check the loadout on the Yavin, but... So it's got the potential to pretty much wipe most of that AA capability here. And you got the disconnected SAM drones right here as well. As the defensive SAM sites here. And then we also have the boat vehicles on patrol. These hovercrafts. with 50 cals on the front. And then we have another one, which it looks like they're dismounting here to potentially move up to cover the other site. So you also have the Watchkeeper. I don't see any armament on her. I think she is just meant to be a reconnaissance drone. Look at that. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. And then they've got fleet back here. This is that artillery capability here. So they've got a VLS system in play, which is all the way back there. And I heard the word nuclear capability from one of the admins, so that should be interesting. I'm trying to track where that drone is at the moment. Well, a lot of BTR 80 Alphas moving up on the flanks here. And I think the drones are only going to be active on my interface if there's a player actually on it. Here we go, the Foxhounds. The Foxhound has twin GPMGs on it. You got the Dingo, which has a Crow system. And you got a transport truck. Interesting. So, OPFOR with those autocannons is a very significant advantage, but the Bulldogs with the 50 cal can basically shoot out the crew of the BTRs because they're not that well armored. So, technically, it's a mirror match, but a few rounds from AP of that autocannon will screw up anything. But Bulldogs, I've seen them take autocannon fire. They're actually fairly resistant to it. So, we'll just have to see how things go. Looks straight out of World War I, yeah, right? And yes, he did kill me with a KSVK from Cup, which is a 12.7 anti-material rifle. So I guess the main goal of the Reaper drone is going to be to snipe those BTR-80 Alphas or find the 2S1 artillery tank and destroy that as well. But both sides having drone capabilities, I mean, that's nuts, ain't it? I'm trying to look over to see if I can find that Reaper drone. Excuse me, they got a Tyrant out, which is a darter. I hear it. There she is. So that's being deployed now. Interesting. We also have some mines being placed out here. Whoops. This road has been hit with slam mines. Okay, so Blue 4 have mining capabilities. That's awesome. We also see the term disconnected from afar. I think that's in reference to these slots right here. Yep. But this will help us see where drones are as well if people leave the interface. We got some more mines being placed right here. Again, slam mines. Meant to be anti-tank capable. Then we have a few guys back here. Possibly reconnecting. I'm going to have to find another way to hydrate. Because I'm more than halfway through that glass, too. I should have filled it with more, but regardless. We have OPFOR moving up. Blue 4 have ghillie suit guys around. Oh, and they got AWPs. With scopes. Ooh. I need to mute myself locally because I think I could hear the players, but gotta remember if they die, I can hear them in the spectator channel, and that's no bueno. Oh, so he's... You gotta make sure you put your statics on flat surfaces, otherwise they will come back and bitch slap you. I do know about Nemesis, but I do prefer playing some of my own stuff personally. It's one of the things on the to-do list that I will do in maybe 2 years. We have another mine placed right here. This appears to be a Russian one. It's a tripwire mine. Okay. So both sides have mine capabilities here. So what's also interesting is it looks like Blue 4 has foregone defending these two first sites. So Op 4 is going to get a free kill on that one and this one. But this southern zone's still going to defend this area. So they can use the VLS system against it. That's quite interesting. So we might see a tac nuke by the end of this round, which is quite funny. BTR-80s appear to be coming around on this side. I'm looking up in the air right now. The Reaper drones appear to be all the way back there. Looking at my camera angle. Hold on. That might be the Reaper drone. The Yabin all the way back there. That's quite interesting to see. Now I'm trying to descend super quick. Gotta twirl around so you stay in position. So you got two Tay drones over here or something, as they're trying to do reconnaissance in this area. Blue 4 have their marksmen up here as well. Yeah, so they're scouting out Op 4 coming along this side. I will say, from experience, you got to be careful about having ghillie suits on top of rocks because it does give you, as a player, some pretty unhealthy contrast against the rock. See what I mean? The, you know, collection of colors, the amber, the white, and the browns compared to you wearing whites and greens. And the streaks of the ghillie suit compared to the rock, they're really different, and it is eye-catching, so you just have to be careful, but, you know. So he is watching Russian forces come up here. Probably won't in... I thought he was going to pull his gun out. But yeah, that guy immediately looked over. I think he saw him. Because of that skyline, man. Again, you are a massive amount of contrast on those rocks. So we might see artillery fire go up to those hills. I'm waiting to see when Blue 4 starts nailing things with that Reaper drone. Well, look at this massive push over here. Big open area. Blue 4 only has a 3-man team from one of the boats that came up here. That team's going to have to quickly pull back. Looking back over here, that was a bit of a misclick by me. Oh, man. I hate it when I have a sneeze caught up and I'm trying to get rid of it. Whew. Round 2 just started, yes. So that BTR showing that it does have autocannon capabilities here. Can you shoot again? I'm trying to see if the tracers are working. ATVs are now pulling off that hill. I think they noted that they got spotted. This Russian force over here moving up to secure this position. What happened to you? Ah, yes, the legendary Scottish bush got him. Gotta be careful about that Scottish bush. You have no idea where it's been and how it's gonna get you. Very risky when you go in the highlands on your own. Oof. Just takes one mistake and that bush is all over you. Okay, Shark, getting to that 15-minute. But there's the Reaper drone. Definitely armed with 4 Hellfires and 2 GPUs. I want to see her in action so bad. I'm wondering if I hit that and then space immediately. Yeah, so that can help me get back down to the ground a lot quicker. But we already had one position get destroyed. And that would be this. So I think with that destroyed, that, made the circle disappear. So now this area is no longer a threat because the guidance system for these launchers is not credible anymore. You got the Terrans. You got to be careful with Ace. These things only have a 30-minute battery life, so I hope they have spare batteries to land because this is a 2-hour route, which means they need at least 4 batteries to go through with everything. I'm your therapy? Alpha, if I'm your therapy, then you have really big problems and you need a real therapist. Ah, buddy. Alright, we got one Blue 4 player here going through the reeds here. It's another radar position that was just destroyed from a long-range shot from an autocannon. Great hit there. So with a near 3-kilometer render distance, that means Blue 4 needs to hold to roughly this line right here to prevent any Op 4 from sniping it. So they need that Reaper drone to start sniping the BTRs. If it were to get a perfect hit with each of its pieces of ordnance, so that would still leave 1 BTR 80, because Op 4 has 7 of them. Uh-oh. Suppressed guy might be SAS, but he takes a grenade. Will his grenades return the favor on Felix? No, they're just short. Felix had the stronger arm. Monty could still technically wake up, though. Oh, I thought I crashed for a second, but I forgot I misclicked. Because again, for this interface, left control moves the camera. For the interface I'm used to, the right mouse button controls the camera. In terms of where it moves, so... Again, I'll occasionally make that mistake. Felix bombed some more grenades, not realizing he got Monty down with a nade. Which, you know, it's good to be cautious. Double tap. Yes. That could technically be first blood. I mean, we've seen 2 drone units get taken out, but I do believe that is the first kill of the day. Look at this massive Blue 4 defense line here at this choke point. Oh, that's great. What's going on over here? Oh, it's the admin. It's my killer. He's come over here. I think he gave Blue 4 some equipment, maybe because they were missing or whatnot. We've also seen some more mines get put down. I have no idea what that mine is. I'm hoping it's an anti-infantry piece. We see another mine placed over here. Ah, some toe poppers. Or those could be bouncing betties. Basically some apers. Anti-personnel something something. Watchkeepers now flying overhead. might start getting some reconnaissance data with their thermals tracking where Op4 is coming. But look at this. It's basically going to be battle line versus battle line with some Blue 4 guys sneaking along the rear. Those BTR-80 Alphas are a priority target for the Bulldogs to kill the crew out of. But more importantly, any Milans, which we see one over here. To snipe. Look at that sight line. He's gotten that entire right flank locked down. And then you got the autocannon, the Crow System Vic over here locking down this side because they forgoed those two objectives to Op4 to make a more defensive line right here for that final position. Op4 doesn't really have a good way to move around and counter it. Oh, heard a little bit of fire from where I previously was. There it is, yep. Suppressed gunner there was able to get a kill. What gun is that, buddy? Mod 18 Mark 1 with 262 ammo. Wow, yeah, that's the good shit. Autocannon firing up here maybe because they thought they spotted something. Maybe it's a blip on thermals that's reading hot because, you know, highland rocks get very heated. Oh, he totally took his suppressed weapon. Yeah, I would too. A suppressed gun is very nice. Even dropped his radio and some explosive charges. That's cute. Now, what I'm curious about is, does anyone over here have AT to hunt down that BTR-80 Alpha? Nope. This guy does. And an AT-4 would cook off a BTR-80 Alpha. It's a simple APC. So we might see him move up and get the kill because he is away from his infantry screen. Watchkeeper flying over this position now, getting sightlines on a lot of BTR-80 Alphas over here. We might see the Reaper move in. Reaper is coming on scene. I'd love to see some AGM drone play in PvP. Let's do it. He already has fired one, actually. I have no idea where it could have gone, though. But one Hellfire away. Could have gone anywhere. I'm looking for any black text to see if there's a vehicle that got blown up. Meanwhile, on the other flank, you're starting to see Op4 move up into this position. Looking over here, though, looks like we had a lot of Blue Force slam mines placed, but didn't detonate. This Gaz was able to move by without causing a detonation. Interesting. I wonder where the Op4 Yavin is. Oh. I heard something explode in the distance. That didn't sound like an engine startup sound. You got move orders being ordered on the drones here. It dropped a GBU. There it is. And that is one BTR-80 Alpha destroyed by a GPU strike. Holy shit. That's awesome. Because think about it. When's the last time you saw a GBU in PvP from a drone? Bloodwing can just waterboard me. Yeah, because I'm running on water. God damn it. Yeah, so these guys have to know at this point they're being engaged by air assets or something. Is that a T-5000 on that guy? Yeah, so he's a sniper. That's a KVS. Oh my gosh. So this is a full-on sniper team over here. Reconnaissance group. Suppressed SVD. Oh, man. So yeah, 80 alphas are going to start getting sniped here by the Watchkeeper watching for the Reaper drone. Oh, man. I think this guy is still trying to run up to put his AT into that BTR-80 Alpha, because, again, you need to snipe those autocannon assets early. If you do not, they are going to rain hell on the infantry garrison. But we saw something similar in round 1, where Op4 was able to, over time in the beginning of the round, snipe all of Blue 4's vehicles. That's weird. Someone just went into one of my spectator slots, but otherwise... Okay. I think the drones are now left to loiter as... well, no, we still have the Watchkeeper up here, but the Reaper has disappeared. Probably left to loiter for the time being. Possibly fearful that Op4 is going to scramble their assets away. Watchkeeper still going overhead. That BTR-80 Alpha still a ways away, being tracked by infantry over here. Oh, you guys got to the the spotting scope hitting that dude. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I wrote the timestamp down. Whew. 15 minutes is quite a big chunk of time. Good golly. But yeah, massive Op4 battle line. You got this defensive Blue 4 line, some intermingled forces right here. Not surprised one bit with this. Hey, Eric Liru. Thanks for joining us, man. I'd imagine these are 3 CBBAF assets then, for the British guys. This spectator mode feels terrible. I don't think so. I think it's got its own benefits with it, like being able to see mines and whatnot. How it handles tracers is also pretty nice. Every interface has its own pros and cons. But me being able to like see an immediate number of tracking there is pretty nice. This guy, I think he ran into his own mine, which is unfortunate. But everything in Arma takes a little bit of mastery. So you got Nile laying low right here. More Op4 guys coming up. Uh-oh. What launcher is that? I don't recognize that one. Oh! Garrick blind fired the wrong direction. Got knocked out for it. Oh, but the grenade retaliation got him. But looks like he might have actually caught shrapnel and killed himself with his own grenade. I'm writing that timestamp down to review it later, but that is quite possible he just killed himself with his own grenade. That's brilliant. So immediately he's pulling back over here. So 103 to 107. Again, Op4 getting a slight number advantage early on, but the BTR-80 is getting sniped early on. Is nothing to discount. And you still have this one guy with that AT. You can very quietly hear that BTR-80 still moving. The ghillie guy was just rock moose. Rock moss on top. Yeah. Fucking hell. Skylining's a bitch. Timing-wise, 30 minutes of the round have passed. It's been committed to a lot of maneuvering, but Op4, I mean, contact, direct contact here specifically is imminent. There's already been some minor skirmishes, but nah, man. We're going to see some full-on squad warfare here in just a bit. Look at this guy with a freaking E-Clan scope just hiding in this tree. I'm going on him, so every time I open the map, it's more centered compared to the units down there. We have one guy that's knocked out over here. Looks like a blue 4 player. Yep. He got, I just heard rounds come over. He got shot at by suppressed shooters over here. This is one of the Op4 Hunter teams that have all the suppressed long-range weapons, as well as the T5000 and all the other guns, like the KSVK. So it looks like it's 2 suppressed SVDs, 1 T5000 gunner, and a KSVK of the 12.7. So essentially, that dude was just counter-sniped. 102 to 106. Looking over here, some cautious Op4. He's in defilade. He's not going to get spotted. This guy, though, they're very close. I'm hearing something going off over here. Could very well be a BTR-80 Alpha autocannon. Though he doesn't have the right angles. Where is that Reaper drone to come back and do more angled strikes here? But hold up, we still have... Oh, the BTR pulled up by the edge of the tree line. It's this 80 Alpha firing down on this position here, and that was the Foxhound getting knocked out. Yeah, with GPMGs, that's not going to have anything capable of penning the BTR-80, so he pulled back. He's got an Enlon, but little does he know he might have a Guardian Angel move up and assist him. But once again, that BTR-80 Alpha's on the move. Op4, this force is still moving up to assault that position, but the objective's been done. They should be continuing up, so that's going to cause a little bit of a lag on this force, but we still have this pretty nasty battle line right here to stall them out. I think once we get to where the Milans are posted, we got one over here, it can move. We have another one somewhere around here. That's when we're going to start seeing more vehicle assets getting sniped. Watchkeeper, right above Russian forces, is going to be calling them out. Also, look at this. 2 dudes in the same compound. Number of a Wagner for the Russians, and Aster's over here watching on the north with an Eklon on an L85. I wonder if he's going to see if anyone's home. Nope. Got some GMGs firing up. That is hitting into... The text is a little hard to read, admittedly. Borsch over here, he's got an Enlon on him. Hunting Ferox, thanks for the raid of 4. If you're still here in 15 minutes, please let me know what you were playing. He's subbed to pay your therapy service, so please give him therapy advice. Maybe later. Uh-oh. Yeah, he has to hear his footsteps, but he's going to hear those footsteps too. Once again, there's a 15-minute delay. Oh. He just did that to throw a grenade up here. Uh-oh. Aster looks right into it. As a bit of comic relief. Well, the reason we have a 15-minute delay is for stream sniping, as Striking Eagle said, to help deter that ability. Got more Op4 coming around. Looks like one of the Russian guys that pushed up got engaged right here by the garrison up here. You see that there's been some heavy rounds that have gone up over here, as denounced by that crater. And once again, I am looking for that Reaper drone. I do not see it, but it needs to come up and do some more stuff, man. Got a Blue Force squad on the rear. A few stragglers out here as well. This man's still hunting for that BTR-80. He will find it. They turned their engine off, though, so we can't hear him. Smart for the BTR-80, so it's not being tracked by infantry. Doing its best to try to lock down these large open areas with its thermal cam to basically hit anything that it can spot. All right. Watchkeeper's looking up over here. I heard an autocannon slamming into something earlier. That appears to be over here at this position. Bulldog is now pulling back. Autocannon rounds ripping through the trees here. Uh-oh. Oh! I heard it! You hear the missile whiz by. Holy shit. I don't know if that was a captured NLAW or something, but damn. No, it was a Cormet launcher. Look at that in the distance. Oh, the missile knows where it is at all times. Now they got artillery landing close by. They got to be careful with that, though, because it is close to Op4. But Op4 does have a 2S1, which is where I think that artillery is originating from. But again, got to be careful with that. You don't want to hit your own guys. So they're reloading it right now. They're taking the tube off. We'll put a fresh tube on there with a new launcher. Great use of an ACGM, though. The main focus of that Vic is going to be to hit those, uh-oh. Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll give that one to you, because I'm like, why are they firing again? Oh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I would do something like that, too. I love killing infantry with missiles. I've got a video on TMTM of me with a javelin just sniping enemy AI with it for the hell of it, because I had so many rounds. I want to see if he has eyes on this mortar position. Where is it? He's looking. Trying to get into his third person. There we go. Yeah, so I have seen single units and in small groups of 2 or 3 going around, so I think lone wolfing is okay on the server. I've also seen people running each other over on vehicles on the server. So again, when I say that Russian stuff is the Wild West, because we have heard in rumors of, people stream sniping or, people going above what we'd normally see in Western communities, anything to win, that's what I mean. And there's nothing bad about that. That's just how they do things here. We panned over that. Oh, wait. He immediately looked back. I'm trying to see if he saw that artillery position. All right, no, they might backpack it and move on then. Where did that Reaper go? And you still have this Blue Force squad going way off, unfortunately. Another Bulldog on this hill as some Op4 elements are moving through Campbelltown. Oh, man. Op4 and Blue 4 both have drones. Blue 4 have the Watchkeeper drone, which is just a reconnaissance drone, and they have a Reaper drone, which last I saw was somewhere over here. I doubt it got shot down. Op4 have a Yavin. Oh, whoops. I hit the wrong button. I was meant to hit X to see. There we go. It doesn't have any armaments, though. It is purely a recon drone. And it's been tasked to just loiter on the rear. Oh, that's funny. But now it's being tasked to move south. Gotcha. So we see some units are now pulling back, realizing these defensive lines are like this. Is he still hunting it? No, this is another guy. This is DMB. Does he have AT? No, he does not. And now it's being ordered to move around on the rear again. So yeah, some Blue 4, I think they're already starting to set up some defensive lines, but this has been over this entire map, which I absolutely appreciate. Wrong button again. Again, new interface. My bad, guys. It's X for the closest unit. Cool. I mean, this is not a bad ATGM position. This is just overwatching the main attacks. You got these forces pushing up on the left with support from an autocannon. I'm going to be honest. The autocannons, I feel like Blue 4 could have gone for a few warriors to counter the autocannon balance, because the autocannons are just going to be able to snipe people in. Yes, Blue 4 have ATGMs in a drone, but saying from experience, it's not always the smartest idea to rely on like a single or two assets to counter like 8 or 9, even though they can completely counter them. But yeah, this was a mortar position that's now being harassed, so both mortar positions now under heavy fire from Op4, because as they come in from the south, they have superior positions from over here. Oh, and I forgot, Op4 also have the Tyran drones, which are, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but it's the little darter drones. Where did that Reaper go? That's another autocannon shredding the infantry up here. They got Pirate. Excuse me. And as you see on the left side, it looks like the ATGM team for Op4 with their one Cormet have loaded up in a Gaz. And are now driving off. That is a messy situation to be in. Yeah, they're driving around on the left side. So this is where a bulk of the fight, and if not almost all the fighting, is going to be. Op4 needs to eventually move some stuff around the right flank to tank that out so they can use their VLS to take out the final zone. But otherwise, they want to just smash through these defensive lines here. And since Blue 4 doesn't have any real good overwatch here with their AT, I think Op4 might be able to steam through this one. And I think that's just a matter of mapping and positioning. And there's a hydrate. Well, 15 minutes from now, you'll see that I hydrated. And don't get me wrong, Blue 4 still have good sight lines here. You got Op4 trying to move up discreetly coming down from the highlands to the south, but they're still taking heavy fire. That's still DMBs right behind that Vic. I'd imagine Telru back here. It's Terrell, my bad, with the AT. He's coordinating with that guy, and he'll slowly get up there. He wants to kill it with that his AT launcher. I know he does. He'll hopefully get a chance. Yeah, I got dead right here in the center of the compound. He got hit. Looks like they brought the vehicle back that got hit pretty hard with AT, and they brought it over here. I'm hearing 2 S1 artillery fire landing over here. Ah, this mortar position was counter-batteried. Look at the artillery crater right there. Multiple dead. And now they're grabbing Vix and trying to pull away at this point. Nasty. So the RPG-26 is a single green tube. The RSGH is, I thought it was the single tube but a different camo pattern, but the AT launcher he was holding, I don't recognize it personally, but it could be another skin of, you know, RPG-26 or an RSHG. I just, again, don't recognize it off the top of my head. So that, for example, that's an RPG-26. RSGH is that same barrel, but it's a different camo pattern. And the difference is the RPG-26 is an anti-tank warhead, whereas the RSHG is a thermal barrack warhead, also known as the Big Suck Round. AT launched! Goodbye, BTR. All right, as far as I know, there are 5 BTR-80s left. So the other Milan launcher is over here in a very cheeky spot. I like it. He's now going to abandon that position in case he is engaged by another asset, but that was a great hit. And now you got Special Forces Russians here moving through and killing Blue 4 with suppressed weapons to, again, scouts for the main force to engage. Now we have the mortar position getting abandoned here. Multiple trucks leaving this vicinity. Bulldog's up here. Don't know what this guy's doing up here. I guess he's bandaging because he took multiple hits. And Op4 are now fighting in the flatlands here. I still can't believe that dude got sniped by an ATGM. That was hilarious. You got some distant fighting over here as some Blue 4 are getting engaged by Op4 running around in these flatlands as well. That Milan gunner might have actually just gotten friendly fired by the Bulldog. Also, is that Bulldog? I think that's a 50 cal. That has to be a 50 cal. Yeah, it's a 50 cal top. For half a second, I thought that was a GPMG, like an FN mag or something, which wouldn't fire 50 cal. And it's like, well, that's not going to be too helpful. But no, that's definitely a 50 cal now. My bad. Cheeky little position. He probably sniped Van up here from there. But yeah, this is the launcher in question that I don't recognize. So if you're saying it's an RSHG, I'll believe you until I'm told otherwise. You're saying it's a thermobaric round. All right, cool. Again, wouldn't be surprised that they had those because we saw those in the last round in the RHS skin, so. Kilm and Don Mage getting into a 1v1 over here. He's got multiple GLs getting launched. Kilm's got to be careful. He's not moving. And that helmet on his backpack pokes him out of the grass. There is a 20% advantage on Op4 right now in terms of numbers, by the way. 84 to 102. This is starting to play out a little bit like the last round. Yeah. Oh, shot so hard his head is literally turned 180. More Blue 4 firing up at Don's position. But I'm not surprised with that. If you are in a 1v1 like that, you can't just keep firing because you're going to keep, you know, giving away your position. It's like sonar. If you keep making noise, you're going to be detected and someone's just going to run around and flank you, you know? They're going to literally hone in on your sound. So you have to maintain noise discipline, because otherwise you're just going to get flanked on like that. Layden gets a great kill. So he's fighting the suppressed guys, but he's also taking fire from another group to his immediate rear. So he's popping grenades. Try to stop anyone from pushing him on the front. ATGM's a reset up there. Nice place. Might be able to spot stuff. Oh, that BTR snipe's gonna happen, though. Oh, thermobaric GP25 is being launched. All right, real quick. I have to see this. He has been tracking this BTR-80 for literally the past half hour. And he's finally going to get a shot on it. Come on, Tarl. Come on, buddy. That's a friendly. That's a friendly. You are so close to greatness. He's so freaking close. Do it. Yes! This man has spent 35 minutes tracking this bitch down just so he could do that. 4 BTR-80 alphas remaining on Op4's side. Oh, that's satisfying. And I'm going to say it, as a player perspective, nothing is more freaking satisfying in this game than literally stalking something for an entire mission just to kill it at the end. But there's also nothing more funny than watching someone mess up the shot after stalking it for so damn long. So it's a double whammy either way. I'm entertained. Meanwhile, down here, holy crap, this entire building got taken out. Ilbanek's dead. Uh-oh. A lot of Blue 4 are dead as they were continuing to use that mortar position. Probably got annihilated by an autocannon. That is why there's such a high number advantage here. But Vizard, is he op 4 or Blue 4? Appears to be Blue 4. All right, so he was taken out early on as op 4 continued to push here. Now I'm curious. So this is the ATGM position here for op 4. They have a loaded tube. They're looking around, seeing what they can see. Oh, man. You got artillery also coming out. I do appreciate that both sides have artillery capabilities, though, because artillery can definitely change the battle. But now let's see. You've got DMB pushing around, trying to check for any stragglers here. Smart call. And now op 4, they're moving off from that hill, and they're coming up to reinforce. Now, op 4 already heavily engaged in this position, but these guys are just going to reinforce and sandwich. There will be some overlap because of op 4 already in that area, but Blue 4 are just sticking to that left side. But you also have some reconnaissance forces already pushing out. Nakey Man! I think he's a crewman slot, actually, because he's got the crew helmet, so we might run up and start hitting guys here. But you also have this Bulldog with the Crow firing up at Everil here, who is now pinned behind a rock. He's got a suppressed SVD from the looks of things. No, he stole one of the Blue 4 snipers' AWNs. I might be wrong about that. That might be a different gun, but you know, the freaking L85 or whatever. And then we have a Gaz rushing through, actually. It's got multiple people dead in the back, though, so it was potentially ambushed. And they're trying to rush around to see if they can snipe that other position over here. So the air defenses go down, so op 4 can launch attack nuke. Crazy. Oh, dear. Is he going to take a L85 with the E-Clan on it and confuse weapon PID? That's exactly what I would do. And then just shoot people in the back of the head. That is exactly what I would do. So Blue 4 still stalking some of the Op 4 guys on the rear after they took out that BTR-80 Alpha. Good call there. We got one BTR-80 Alpha over here, another one over here. So 2 out of the 4 remaining. And then the other 2 should be over here. We got the third one. And I don't know where the 4th one is. I don't see it on the top of my head. It might have already been taken out, and we just didn't track it. Because there were 7 total. We watched 3 blow up. 1 to a GBU, 1 to a Milan, and 1 to that AT. So there might have been a 4th one that got blown up. We just haven't seen it because we were busy covering other things. But Op 4, I mean, down to less than 50% of their supporting assets. Those autocannons are incredibly important. The Cormit crew is mounting up again. If he finds AT, by the way, he can snipe that Bulldog. Not sure if any of these guys have it, but he could, you know, ambush the Wambulance. He's just playing dead in the back. There's no way to shoot him now. Oh, he just killed the gunner that turned out. Increase the view distance by hitting the home button. Interesting. I'm okay with the view distance right now, personally, but thank you for letting me know, Rainbow. I think someone else told me that, and it didn't register with me, so appreciate that. Now he's double tapping the gunner on that mortar. But I always appreciate when people give me feedback, because it, you know, makes me a better streamer, and it makes better content for you guys. So thank you. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh! You used an RSHG launcher, though! See how it's camouflaged? He killed himself and did minimal damage to the Bulldog. That's a thermobaric warhead. The dude literally just sucked out all the oxygen from his lungs and did nothing. Oh my God, that's great. That's great. This tube worked, right? Oh my God, he killed himself with his own launcher because he didn't understand what type of warhead it is. Sounds like a Russian army logic to me, though. Good God. Damn. Oh shit, Ziki got sniped over here, probably by these two OPFOR guys on the flank. And they are running suppressed. I do hear artillery landing. That's over there. We do have, let's see. I think that was a Russian player. Yeah, that just got sniped. Now I gotta wonder where that already is landing. Still have Ladle right here, or Layden, excuse me. He's been doing a great job. He's on his own. Picking off who he can. That's the sound of the gas slowing down. They just dismounted. It's because they're going to set up an ATGM position closer to the front. Again, I don't know where the Reaper went. It could have... Oh, my God. Do they have AT? Please tell me they have AT capability. They have mines, though. I have seen them plant some mines already, so they might be able to just put mines on top. They do have AT. They could snipe the 2S1. Brilliant backline play right there. That's going to knock down OPFOR's artillery support. That's exactly a blow they need to deliver to OPFOR to still stay in the game. 88 to 78, only a 10-player number advantage right now. Blue 4's been doing a great job bouncing back here. Liquid, we've had multiple... Oh, hold on. That's a Milan firing. And that just took out the ATGM vehicle. One of them, at least. So that took out a Gaz. Another Gaz right here. Great use of the Milan there. Cormit position's now being abandoned. But as I was saying, I can count with two hands the amount of stream sniping issues over the past 6 years we've had on PvP events alone. We've also had it in PvE events. There has also been people that have literally said, hey, people do stream snipe in Russian communities when it comes to PvP events, so we have to take every precaution. It's a pain, I know, but it's either we do it that way or we don't do it at all. So, I choose the former. All right. Is this Russian guy still alive too? Yep, he's just chilling in that house. Looking back, I missed it. Yep, AT guy came up, sniped the 2S1 with his AT4, and immediately took it out. Great call there. You see the spent tube? And he had a second one there just to... Oh, no. Oh, no. Another network hiccup. All right. We'll see what happens here. If I get kicked off, again, we'll go into a bit of an intermission. I'll be right back, actually, one quick second, because I do have to reload my water, so back in a moment. Let's go ahead and just take score of everything. So these circles are back up, but the AI things are destroyed probably because of the script initiating. So those two circles technically don't exist. We still have one OPFOR player over here. With the ambulance player over there as well. Multiple Blue 4 guys on all the bunkers trying to maintain a 360 security on the final objective. OPFOR have 4 infantry moving around on the right flank at the moment. They got 2 infantry on the southern side. They're probably going to try to bypass any Blue 4 defenders to immediately get to the final area, take that out. Yabin's still flying around on the northern side. Interesting how that's the drones don't get their sims disabled. You still got the Watchkeeper up as well. Milan position right there, overwatching the other Milan. Not sure if it's been moved back yet. Yeah, it has. Okay. So it's overwatching this massive area here. And trying to keep things locked down. Looks like sim is back up. All right. Looks like Blue 4 have stolen a gas. And are going to be able to use that to maneuver back to the front line very quickly after taking that 2S1 tank out. Still got multiple Blue 4 and some Op 4 coming around on the side as well. We have 1, 2, 3 BTR-80 Alpha still in play here. We got a Tyrant drone moving around as well. I still don't know where that Reaper drone went. I'm going to assume AA shot it down somehow because I don't see it up anymore. You got the Cormit launcher. Still on Overwatch right here. He's got to be careful because he's got a Milan to look out for. So that guy is looking out where he can. And we have an M252. So artillery has been moved back to this position for the mortar. And someone trying to bandage themselves probably because everything reopened because wound reopening is enabled. So Op 4 down to 3 BTR-80s left. They still have their Cormit launcher. They don't have a drone. Actually, no, they do have their scout drone, but it's all the way on the northern side. And most of their infantry is trying to move to this final position to take it out. Overall, looking at the amount of Op 4 that is here, that is more than capable. Blue 4 have a lot of stuff kind of out of position at the moment. It could fold back in, but it's really difficult to see if that'll catch on. You see everything moving again as they turn the simulation back on, trying to restabilize everything, let the server catch back up after having that network hiccup. Looks like the server is back. A little bit of a hiccup here and there, but that is understandable. Massive explosions just heard on the far left flank. All right. So we got some Blue 4 picket forces over here. Might catch this group out in position. The 3 BTR-80 seem to be a little out of position as well. Op 4 have stolen the Foxhound, though. And they're slowly moving up with that. That might keep coming up on occasion because I killed myself while my simulation was disabled, so I apologize if that occasionally comes up. What can you do? Missile launch. That's a Milan. Oh, and that hits the other gas. Turning tracers back on, putting mines back on, and bodies. Not in that order, though. I did the other two. All right. I guess I shouldn't have touched everything. Oh, well. Got a Bulldog coming around right here. As the Foxhound comes in. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. Internet. Oh, AT just fired in and hit the Foxhound on the rear. Yeah, I don't think anything I'll do is going to be able to get rid of that message. Oh, well. Liru did not follow instructions. Liru pays the price. Though I do appreciate, looks like Blue 4, they've set up a few mines right here. These are slam mines, though. I'm pretty sure slam mines you have to manually detonate, though. Oh, my God. Something just went boom up here. Don't know what that was. Op 4 don't have any heavy artillery left, so I have no idea what could have caused that. just still have blue 4 stragglers around. We got some units over here. Oh, 6-4 playing running around the rosy with this guy. Get some in the spray. We also have Aja up here, another blue 4 player, who's got that GPMG, so he gave some assistance fire there as well. All right. 45 minutes remaining on this round. I think Op4 is going to be able to bypass all blue 4 and get to that final position to disable that third and final area. All right, we got artillery coming around. AT fire coming across. I do apologize if that's going to keep coming up, guys. I mean, worst I can do is... I've got one last slot I can take. And if it comes up again, then oh well, you know? Because I know people are going to get mad about that, so I'm just trying to... Yes, but this is still coming up, which is what's kind of worrying me here. Because I feel like if I kill myself while this is still coming up, it's going to constantly come up, you know? So I don't know if there's a way to get rid of that. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll wait it out for the moment. Because I think it disables for 3 minutes automatically, but... I'm just a little frustrated with it because, you know, I don't want you guys to keep seeing that. That's okay. Again, teething things out. Nah. That's weird. This body has a hole in it. I think it's just on a timer to keep coming up. So, theoretically, if I just vault over and kill myself now and respawn to get back in the interface, that should go away in 2 minutes. But I'm thinking maybe because I killed myself while my sim was disabled, it stuck the message. So we'll stick with it, but, I mean, if that's the case, then, you know, oh well, we're screwed. You know what I mean? There's just nothing I can do at that point. Alright, so we have Op4 maneuvering around over here. Wrong button again. The reason my camera changed angles is because of that. There we go. Oh, I got the Yabin interface. That's cool. Yeah, if it keeps coming up, it keeps coming up. Nothing I can do. All right, so otherwise they have the fuel Vic all the way back here. They're doing some overwatch on the rear to prevent anyone from coming up on the side. You got these two infantry coming up as that bulldog comes around, but the main fighting is going to be around this fob. So looks like the Foxhound was eventually detonated. Multiple casualties on the Op4 side as they pushed in. It's 62 to 61 now. Blue 4 now showing the first sign of a number advantage in the entire scenario, as they're doing their best to maintain what they have here in these little CQC fights. I gotta wonder if they can hear each other at this range, you know, stepping around on the dirt. But, I mean, this is the main Op4 line coming up. Blue 4's main defense is over here. Some Blue 4 coming around on the rear side as well. Grenade might have just blown Balu up. Archer just tried to come out, but he was immediately engaged by Telic over here. Okay. So you got one guy. I was hoping it would stay away, but oh well. Moving around on the rear, you still got Blue 4 overwatching back here as well. So we'll see if they're able to successfully counter Op4 coming in, but it's going to take them at least a few more minutes to actually get up there. But then we also have a Bulldog down here overwatching from this side, but it looks like he's focusing on the south instead. Another Bulldog moving into the AO to support. Op4 now trying to clear out the positions at Drumbable. But Op4 otherwise bulldozing the remaining infantry positions over here. Yeah, stream's been going on for almost 5 hours now. Ooh. Takes me back to CCOs. 6.5 hour ops, man. Go back right here. You got some Op4 guys that were caught out in the open and eliminated here. Layden looks like he was eventually found and taken out. Here's his body. Last Blue 4 guy up on that ridge. Putting my tracers back on so I can see what's firing at what. It appears to be a Bulldog here. And it's trying to pin that force down. Volvo staying back there as well. Blue 4 pulling back to that site as Op 4 are now coming up on it. One guy followed by three. One guy to lead. Three guys as the main group. Numbers-wise, 59 to 57. Blue 4 maintaining a two-person number advantage that could change on a dime. But, I mean, Op 4 were leading by 20 or 10% earlier. You know, 20 or 10 players. And now that's turned around. And that is because Op 4 is now coming down open hillsides here. And Blue 4 are just picking them off as they run around. Yeah, tech's not going away, guys, so we're just going to have to stick with it. Sorry. We have artillery firing. Uh-oh, that's, I think they're trying to hit at this compound right here, though, but that's, with the range of those rounds from the actual target, that's a little risky to be firing it that close to your base. And we've got more slam mines placed around over here. Good golly. Could just be bluffing out Op 4 as well. I hear a drone. That is the Blue 4 Watchkeeper drone, I believe, because again, the Reaper has disappeared. Shame it only was able to take out one BTR-80 Alpha, but looking at Op 4 right now, I actually don't see any additional 80 Alphas mounted right now. I think Op 4 has gone like all infantry at this point. I stand corrected. There is one. That is the only one I see. Looking back here. One guy trying to move up on this position right here. You've got 2 Blue 4 guys here. He might be spotting these guys on that back little corner there. "36 minutes remaining." Oh, man. Hearing explosives. That was, thermobaric warheads. That was an RSGH firing in. No, I mean, that's an RPG because he reloaded it, so that could have been, the frag warhead. Yeah, and he has one loaded right now, so that's a really great anti-infantry weapon. Wrong button. So used to hitting space when it should be X, but that is a Blue 4 marksman trying to get pickoffs of Op 4 forces all the way over here. And you see the guy he's shooting at running around all the way back there. All right. Well, admit, watching these two matches, I mean, you know, 5.5 hours in, I am a little fatigued myself. But, I mean, these people do events like these all the damn time, so having that mental stamina and fortitude, I mean, that certainly is something. Don't know what Keiser was shooting at right there. We got some infantry running down over here. A little worried about Op 4 because now there's some Blue 4 squads getting right behind them. They could potentially wipe out all of those forces, but if Op 4 gets that final position, that leaves the VLS the ability to actually strike some of these areas here. So if even if Blue 4 wins the main fight here, if they lose that northern side fight, I think they're screwed. In all honesty. We do have Op 4 still trickling forces up here. Oh, Blue 4 just got one of the 2 Op 4 guys over here. That was Kostik, I think, taking out Lukoil there. Yeah, he can't get the angle, so he's going to pull back instead. Wrong button. Meant to open the map. I've fat-fingered the M and the N key for years, man. Now we got another Op 4 guy. He's snuck into this compound up here. Let's see if we can find any of the Blue 4 guys. He doesn't have AT to engage that, but maybe there's some lovely Blue 4 players around that might have some. Like this man. With that APIS whatever. Oh my god, that's an M107. Well, we'll see if Shiloh is able to find him. Otherwise, Op 4 making their way into the town to clear left or right. Op 4 regrouped on this hill. There's 2 players up here watching. 2 more Op 4 players to the south that could come up and reinforce. A Bulldog coming up with 4 players, though. I just heard AT fire, and that is the last BTR-80 Alpha being taken out by forces on the rear. So that is all of Op 4's armor support gone. Blue 4 still have Bulldogs. based off of the last stop, I think this is a Blue 4 scenario to win unless they lose that northern fight and then Op 4 is able to rain hell with that VLS platform. That's amazing. Still got that Op 4 guy moving around. Oh, it just flashed once and went away. Oh, I had to open my mouth. Motherfucker. Wow, over here we have... Oh, I think the mines are getting them. Yeah, they're bouncing Bettys then if they're hitting from that range. So Op 4 running into those, it's 56 to 48 now. Op 4's last chance is to hold this position, but I think a Bulldog pushed up here. And I see some blood, which means Blue 4 did get engaged. Something got engaged up here. At least I thought a Bulldog was coming up to support. I don't see it anymore. Ah, she's on the southern side. So they're going to come in to support. Yeah, it is unfortunate that server is, you know, crashed during the main fight, but it's just part of ARMA, unfortunately. I'll fix it in the edit. Checking the map here. You got some stragglers coming in from the south, but... Alright, there's one BTR-80 Alpha that was dismounted that's now... Looks like it was pushed into reserve, and now it's coming out. I think that's the final one, because we've seen 5 blow up, I think. 4 or 5, and then 1 or 2, I think, blew up, and we weren't able to catch those. Houdini. How did you mess that up, sir? Houdini wins. Houdini giveth, and Houdini taketh away. Here, 1 second. Because I just noticed the sim message that did it go away. So I was told that that thing, when you get in the spectator slots, it stops you... How did I word it? When you get on the server, you're unable to get into the spectator mode for 15 minutes to prevent people from abusing it. However, they wrote a script that basically added my UID as an exception to that rule, but I think it was still coming up with that text. So that's why that was still there. Uh-oh. See, that's unfortunate because they needed Don's AT to take out this position to clear this objective. So they're only down to 2 guys. They got 2 more coming up, but more reinforcements are coming up on this hill for Blue 4. So if these guys have explosives, then they could use it on this, but otherwise, they're SOL. That was a great shot by Payne. Classic AI maneuver of you immediately turn 90 degrees and headshot your opponent. But now we need to see them find that AT, pick it up, and then blow this position up, and then I think Op 4 can still win despite them losing the number advantage now. Liru from the future is speaking to you. Yep. You gotta give Blue 4 credit. They've had a great bounce back here. Now they have the number advantage, but Op4 still have a shot here to take this position out. All they need to do is pick up Thieves AT. Oh, a little bit of red on red there. Little twitchy. But I appreciate their aggressiveness. Unfortunately, that's going to cost one dude his life. Please, God, focus on the objective, not the hostiles. Because that decision right there might cost the game for Op4 if they're unable to take out this final SAM site. It's crazy how one thing can change everything. That GL was heavily overranged. Oh my god, hold on, I'm skipping back to this guy. Because there is a full group back here, and if he keeps moving down this riverbed, he might find him. Now these two guys, what do they have? We have... he's got the engineer shell on his backpack, which means he might have explosive charges. And where's the other dude? Here he is. Yeah, he's got a suppressed weapon, though. Payne's in trouble. He's got to basically get out there, take the AT, and then fold back in immediately. Good double tap. Ah, he's pulling away. That's a shame. That dude just got the kill. There's another Op4 guy coming. This combo getting killed by Adam. And he knocked out the other dude as well. They're increasing the mission timer by a few minutes because of that crash. That is understandable. Poole just got his head picked off. Still freshly ragdolling. Adam's now being engaged, but great few kills right there. GL's landing right on top of his position. It doesn't look like he took the AT, though. It's still on Don Mage's back, and he bled out. Damn. Oh, we'll see if someone steps up there and applies proper logic. Gotta give it to Adam, though, for holding out and getting multiple kills. It's 51-40 now. In Blue 4's favor, they have a 20% number advantage here, being at 40-50. Uh-oh. Toph's got to be careful because he has AT and he could give it to this guy. Got to be careful about throwing grenades in. Oh, did you see the AT? Well, you don't need to see it anymore, buddy. Unfortunately, Mr. Grenade found you first. And once Mr. Grenade finds you, you suddenly don't have any problems anymore. Well, DMB's been spotted. DMB is dead. Switching to another player now. And he's immediately knocked out again. So you got a Ray over here. Trying to pick off what he can. Is that an RPK? Yeah, he's got an iron-sighted RPK. That's commendable. But, I mean, yeah, no, this group was a bigger chunk right here. So Blue 4 is still picking them off from one area or another. 48-36. 25% number advantage there. So, WOG showing a decisive victory on Solitude on both events. Op4 had the opportunity to be very powerful with those autocannons, but just didn't pull proper security. Now you're seeing artillery landing over here in the middle of Op4. Looks like Adam was eventually taken out by Pyroman. Makes sense. One guy can only do so much. Unless he's Adriano, in which case, Adriano can do everything. Looks like we had Shiloh come up here and potentially kill that sniper. Yep. But you still have this Blue 4 guy up here. Let's look back on the northern fight here. Again, this is where it's really winner take all on hitting that final position. Zubor was knocked out. Op4 just needs to find some AT and hit that SAM site. And it looks like they already did some damage to it, though. It's showing that rugged texture. So is this piece right here. But it's only Tofu defending on a 1v2. Looking over north, though, we do have a Bulldog locking down the entrance, but it's not fully overwatching that angle, but it does have a thermal sight. So if anything comes up there, it will immediately plink at it. Oh, man. Damn. Finish him. Yeah, I might want to pick that AT up because there's a Bulldog coming. Granted, you should use it on that thing first and use more AT, but let's see what they do. This is where it matters the most, because if Op4 is able to take out that final piece right there, they win. Does this guy have demo? Nobody's using it as cover. So the funny thing is if this guy took the shot, he would kill his buddy. Oh, he's got demo, that's why. Good, 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 good. There's it planted. There's the triangle. Now, this could turn around, though, because with all the air defense down, Op4 gets access to a VLS launcher. And if anyone with a terminal is able to then access that VLS launcher, oh, it's going to get messy. That number advantage might turn around very quickly. Wait for it. I'm assuming it's on a timer. So now what I need to do is, okay, it put me all the way to the admin. I was hoping it would, put me on the launcher, but I guess someone has to be on it because it says disconnected right now. But look at this heavy fighting over here. We'll get a pop-up for when it detonates. I hope he set a timer. Otherwise, that's going to be really awkward. So artillery is now doing work. You got Op4 moving up to... What the hell was that?
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
There it is. Again, I was told this might be nuclear. I want to see if it's nuclear. Oh, just look, this is where a lot of people have died for this scenario here. For this base and beyond. You got a Bulldog passing by. But with Blue 4 still having these Bulldogs, it's going to do a lot of damage to any Op4 that try to rush up to take this final position. Ah, all right. So it is quite possible the Reaper got shot down by AA, because there is an AA launcher right there. This was an AA team. Well, the mystery of what happened to the Reaper drone is now solved. Now it's all for this base, though. But again, the issue is it's 25 to 45 right now. We're approaching a 2-to-1 advantage on Blue 4. Artillery landing over here at where Op 4 was. Blue 4 have a re-garrison this position, are using it to flank Op 4 from coming in on the southern side. But now you see a lot of Blue 4 just kind of honing in from outside of the AO into the AO. And Op 4, they did have, admittedly, a bit of a number advantage in here, but they're starting to lose that. You're hearing some heavy shelling coming out here.
Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we?
Still got a Ray over here as well, doing his best to pick off what he can. He might have actually just killed Snap. Can't tell if the body's freshly ragdolled or not. There's no twitching. But this Op 4 group, oh, they tried to push up and immediately got grenaded. There were 3 of them. One of them was downed. Woke back up, though, so now they're down to 2. So, a lot of Blue 4 again, still on the outside, trickling in. They're also in vehicles, but, I mean, Op 4 down to 20. Blue 4 to 43. It is now a 2-to-1 advantage. Oh, my God. They're trying, though. I'll give them that. 24 minutes remaining. One of those 2 guys just got knocked out. His buddy's trying to give medical render aid, but he is knocked out as well. No, there are like 9 people unconscious, apparently. So I know at least 1 is the admin and the other 8. I mean, all those purple symbols. Oh, jeez. This point, I mean, there's not a lot of unit cohesion going on right now. This is just a true free-for-all at every conceivable angle. Now you got the Bulldog driving up. Oh no! He ran that dude over. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it ran the other one over too! It was intentional! Oh! Who needs a double tap when you can just double tread? Once? Twice? Is he gonna go for 3? Go for 3. I believe in you. Oh, no, use bullets at this point. Oh, the disrespect. I wonder what keeps flashing that, because that just changed my, I guess it's his vision mode as well. Oh, he's teleporting around, that's why. Whoops. Game, please. Let me go. Alright, looking over here. We still have a marksman picking off who we can on the northern side. We're down to 15 and 39. A blue 4 guy did just die. We were at 40 just a freaking second ago. This is the cleanup phase. Yeah, we have Op 4 sweeping around over here. Looks like they destroyed all the AA defense as well. You got artillery even coming up and landing on this spot, but the final fight right here is, ooh. Ooh. It's messy. Still have that Watchkeeper drone up, though. I wonder how much of an emphasis that played in the mission. Maybe it was being used to spot targets for the artillery the entire match, which would make a lot of sense. But 39 to 14, I think it's pretty much clear who's going to win this one, unless Op 4 has a trump card or something. Yeah, good morning, Liru, eventually. Yeah, right, Mutton Chop. We still have some PvP happening in here. Brind is about to get hit from behind. I don't know how to make a joke into that. Will this man notice? Senpai. Hillary Clinton him. 2 shots to the back of the head. Okay, that got messy. That was very messy. Oh. He's still alive, unfortunately. Good grenade, though. To lock down in case Brind immediately went prone under fire. We're just watching cleanup at this point. Senpai doing a great job getting on top of there. He's going to spot him. Just because you spot him, Senpai, doesn't mean you still got to hit him, buddy. There we go. He stopped moving for you. Excellent. And now he's dead. Oh, he's unconscious, but he'll be dead in a second. All right. Finish him. Excellent. Yeah, you making sure he's extra dead. Remember, if the player doesn't have a face, he's considered dead. Volvo just got knocked out by Krill's grenade here. All he has to do is move up and double tap. Shoot him. Finish him. Oh, okay. Ah, it's not what I would use. Okay. Steal his AT. Fire it up the hill. Maybe there's more dudes up there. I get it. That does look like some sort of thermobaric launcher, though, based off of the explosion. But now you need to shoot him. Show no mercy. No mercy. He's medicing himself. I was about to say, if you're medicing your opponent, silly. But no, no mercy. All right, Heisey over here. We've got... I'm going to call him Bez. A lot of fighting up on that hill, too. There was a lot larger, there was a much larger Op 4 group there, and now that's gone. We're at 39 to 10, a near 4 to 1 advantage now. Op 4's mounted up in a fuel truck, and they're going to use that to drive in the AO. My God, this is just cleanup operations at this point. Ooh, is Powerman going to spot Jackie? Yep. But now is Ark over here going to get the kill from afar? Marshall might try to home in as well. Wow, he actually got him with suppression.
Send in Goat Team 6.
Fine shooting.
Now.
Ah, gingerly, here we go again. Watch out for frags.
2D, thanks for a 34-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. So we're still at 10, which means someone who was knocked unconscious woke back up. But Pyro here, Pyro will not be waking back up. Unfortunately, he has the permanent dirt napitis. It can be contagious. I'm noticing a lot of cases here that OPFOR is contracting, but, you know, I'm sure the cure may or may not be found eventually. So Krill moving up this mound here. More OPFOR following on pursuit. At this point, I imagine Watchkeeper is just coordinating with Blue 4 to find where the rest of OPFOR is and hit him accordingly. Just hearing that electric, whatever the hell that instrument is going off in the background. OPFOR down to 9. About to be 8. Yeah. Like I said, it is just cleanup at this point. No plan survives first contact. Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. I think if OPFOR had better control of their BTR-80 alphas, they would have been fine. But as they started pushing them up into these open areas, the Milans wreaked havoc on them, similar to how the Cormet wreaked havoc on a few Blue 4 vehicles as well. Again, this was just a lot of open area. Even more limited places you could push the infantry up, admittedly. I think OPFOR could have gone for maybe sneaking more things through Campbelltown and then coming around, but it's hard to explain because I think OPFOR did a great job eliminating Blue 4's artillery positions where they could. They eliminated the Reaper drone early. This is just one of those, I think if it was run with the exact same parameters again, it would be a vastly different outcome. Because you would think 7 BTR-80 alphas versus 2 Milans and a Reaper drone wouldn't be that well balanced, as well as Bulldogs, but this one seemed to be very well balanced and flipped into Blue 4's favor, which I personally wasn't expecting. I also think if you ran this in OFCRA or FNF with their rules about, you know, not having single guys running around trying to, you know, snipe BTR-80s on their own, you would also see this play out vastly different. And it just goes to show every community has different standards for things. 38 to 8 players left. Let's count them. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess that guy's an AI. But who's this dude? Also an AI. Ah, he was recording something with his metal detector that involved something where they had to change the sheets out. I'll let you guys figure out what that is for. But anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 in the AO, so... Don't know what's counting 8 for. Is the guy over here not an AI and he's just an AFK dude? Is possible. But we are on a quote-unquote cleanup. 7! Volvo spotted by Krill as he turned around and got the shot, knocked him out, and double tapped him too. So I think technically it's 6, but at this point, ooh, 13 minutes remaining. I'm actually curious too at this point. A little bit late to check, but I'd imagine Mulligan's higher for this entire map's little frame here, so, you know, 25 frames compared to Roche where we were seeing like 50. That's completely understandable. But this is just the wrap-up phase at this point. I think it's clear to say who won. And again, 1 second. Overall, I'm excited to cover next week's as well, but I'm definitely wiped. I want to take a quick break, do some chores, shower, and then get on to streaming some Darktide. And then when I get bored of that, let's do some mission dev for the week. Got some GLs going out. But I think next week we'll try to cover the bonus rounds as well. I rarely do bonus rounds because usually I'm wiped by the main rounds, but this one, ooh. almost 6. By the time this thing ends, it will be a 6-hour stream. I think Blue 4 is trying to sweep around for Anarchy, who's hidden himself up here. It's always this spot with this specific structure, hiding behind that big silo where people come up on the stairwell. I don't know, based off of where everyone is, I think Anarchy is going to be the next to go. He might be able to survive it, though. It's only a 1v2 or 3. But the funny thing is, if Anarchy wanted to, he could lean the other direction and completely hide right here. The friendly wiggle has been acknowledged. Yeah, they're calling it. All right. All right. Not surprised with that. Fission mailed. We'll get them next time. Blue 4 have won that round, and I'm going to wrap it up here.